Hello.
Vinny first two.
Vinny, in the leisure room?
Ineligible.
Vinny first two. We're going to have to pass the mic around, so we might need everyone's help with that. Try and catch my eye for questions if at all possible. And we have Jan in the simulcast. Nice way, thank you. Vinny.
Jurgen, safe to say we weren't expecting that when you were 3-0 up. How do you explain being in complete control, then being pegged back, and then needing to find that response which you eventually found?
How do I explain it? I think it was obvious. We left the very successful path of the first 30 minutes. That was some of the best football we played so far, I would say. It was against how we all saw a bit later then. Very good organized team with a clear idea, identity. We did everything what they don't like. On high speed, if you want. Scored the 3 goals. Could have scored more. They changed the system. That's allowed and not really a problem usually. But tonight it was for us because we changed for some reason the approach a little bit. Like somewhere in a controlling mood, somewhere in an attacking mood, and other positions were too hectic. And the main problem was that we tried now to finish our situations off through the middle of the park. They had one midfielder less in the defensive because they took a bit more risk, left the number 10 in between the lines. So they had one midfielder less, and we still tried to push through the center. Lost the balls there. They passed the ball to the 10. He could turn. At the back of Fabinho, he could turn. Counter-attack. So that changed the momentum of the game. And because of the specific history of Salzburg, I would say, because they were not really bothered. Their teams, maybe they break down after 3-0 at Anfield, but they weren't. We were not really bothered. We opened the door. They were running through, chasing through the door, and they scored their goal. And then, half-time, we tried to adjust, but they were still our passes. All the goals they scored, I think, first goal we lost the ball, easy. Was the second goal or the third goal we lost the ball, easy. So counter-attacks, when you are 3-1 up, that makes not a lot of sense. But it happened. It was a very important, I said it now to all the colleagues out there, it was a very important lesson for us tonight, but I prefer massively to learn it in the game than to learn it after the game, because if we would have lost 4-3, it would have been the same lesson. But now we won 4-3, so 3 points and a lot to learn from, and so I'm fine. I knew before we have to improve a lot, but now everybody knows it probably. That's okay. We made it more intense than necessary, but we sorted it result-wise. 3 points in the group, game on. So now recover and face Leicester.
So when momentum is shifted like that in the game, though, what is the key to finding the way to win?
Control the game again. Well, we changed system as well. To give them a few more questions. But the problem was, and one of the problems of the game maybe was that the first half an hour the boys had to work really hard for it, but it felt so easy. Pass the ball left, accelerate, being there, half space. I don't know how often we had a midfielder in a completely free space. Was it Gini? Was it Sadio? We passed the ball through from the last line or from the fullback and were completely free. He could turn. And the only little thing they changed was to change into a diamond. And how is that? But then in the different areas, a bit more man-orientated. So you have still to get the ball, but be orientated, turn if there's no pressure. And we felt now pressure from everywhere. It was not there, so we passed all these balls back, but right up, and then again 7.5 and tried to do something. We were then too monostructured. I was already shouting in first half that we have to use our structure again. But that's easier said, obviously, than done. And I said a lot of things to learn from, a lot of things to improve. But still, the target before the game was winning 4-3, winning, and now we did, and so I'm obviously fine with that. And now let's carry on.
Gentleman with the microphone.
How important are the fans in those moments when you're sort of up against it?
Offense are always important, so they are always important. That's how it is. I was in a game like this. It's very important as well that you celebrate a challenge when we win a press ball or whatever. That you celebrate like a goal, like it would have been against Barcelona or whatever. So I'm like this but that's obviously not that easy. But the atmosphere was brilliant, and after 3-3, obviously the people remembered. Our people remembered that. We're at Anfield and there's still something possible, and that's why it was really supportive and helped, of course, a lot.
Okay, got the next 3 questions, Jeff, with the mic and the lady in the front, and then Jeff.
Klopp, gratulation.
Mr. Klopp, congratulations to your team as well. So what dominates the gratitude for Salzburg's assistant, basically? Or is it the fact that your team actually managed to control the game again, like the champions that you are? I don't know. I'll have to think about that, actually, before I can answer. But it's not really that decisive. What matters is that we win the match. That's what a group stage is all about. If it was the knockout stages, a 4-3 would have been a victory as well, a win as well, but a 1-0 at home for Salzburg in the second leg would have made a difference. So in the group stages, it's about winning home matches, also being good in the away matches as well, of course. But the group is still completely open. That's the other outcome. And that's what we wanted in today's match, that we wanted to achieve. And we're in this group. We've got a chance. Yes, Jurgen Klopp, when it was 3-3, honestly speaking, were you scared of losing at some point because Salzburg were getting stronger? Well, I'm not often scared in football, to be honest with you, but I couldn't exclude their win either. But that's not really the thing you feel at that kind of moment. It's not the goal that annoyed me so much. It was more the way the goal happened in the preparation. The positioning was just rubbish. A ball in the wrong moment, that's kind of forgivable. But we were winning the match, we're leading, and then to be so open and to invite the opponent with the obvious strength of Salzburg, that makes no sense whatsoever. And when that's a goal in the end, that's only logical. And that's why I'm not saying it's easy to stop that. There were obvious mistakes, but it takes time to work on them. So Leicester are also a team that are strong on the break, so we need to work on that a bit more carefully. If you lose a ball at the front, then it's easier to work back on it. But if it happens when no one expects it and you're completely open in the formation, it makes no sense, and that was very painful. But Salzburg were great the way they did it. I was saying this before, they're strong, and now they've showed to everybody else how strong they are. If anybody needed the evidence that they're a strong team, you've now got it. Thank you. That was going to be my question. You warned about Salzburg yesterday. You were speaking about a lot of respect. To what degree was this confirmed today in the first and the second half? I didn't really learn anything new. I knew that Salzburg were going to create us problems. They did that because they're capable of creating problems, and that's what this is all about. What's nice about a young team with this young history is that you have virtually no negative experience. They arrived here with the feeling of almost having won 20 victories. They won 6-2 in the last Champions League match. And then for half an hour, they're shown what we can do. And then they're allowed to kind of breathe again. A lot of players can learn a lot of things from this match. Salzburg players involved. Nobody was unlucky. I mean, Salzburg were not happy about losing, of course, but they were happy about being able to play the game they wanted for a lot of time. But I've seen a lot of positive moments for us as well, and I can't just ignore the positive issues. And just pretending that we need to win 5 or 6-0 against Salzburg is ridiculous. I knew that wasn't going to happen anyway. And after half an hour, okay, it did look as though it might be possible, but we just make a wrong decision there. We paid dearly for that. We had to run an awful lot to win the game in the end, and we did win in the end. Dave?
And then, go on, Dave. There we go. Offside. Last question. Dave Maddock.
Jurgen, for all the perhaps the naivety you showed in defending in the second half, you still actually showed a strength of character to come back and win the game. And is that maybe the biggest change in your side, in the experience that they're gaining, that they can still show that sort of professionalism and ruthlessness of a top side?
In comparison to 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, maybe, yeah. But it would be silly if that would not be possible, because we did so many good things. If we now would lose complete faith in ourselves in the moment when things getting a bit more difficult in the game. So for tonight it's done, but the job will be similar on Saturday, and we have only 3 days to recover. And Christian Fuchs was tonight here as a pundit, and all of the others were on the sofa and watched the game. So that's slightly different preparation for that game. And I'm sure Brendan Rodgers thinks if we protect like we did tonight, then probably Jamie Vardy will run 5 times alone on the goalkeeper. So we will learn, but we have to learn quick. It's not that it's for us completely new. It's usually a strength of us, to be honest. But tonight, for some reason, we didn't show that strength. So, but we have to go again, and that we showed character. I'm the last one who would be surprised about that. That's why I was not overly concerned in the moment when we scored a 3-3, because I knew we will have moments again. I said we changed the system as well. We gave that sign that we are still here to win the game and not to bring it now over the last. What was it then? After, I don't know when happened the 3-3. When did we concede the third goal? Anybody knows when we conceded the third goal? Yeah, half an hour time. So therefore, for change the game again, and that's what in the moment what was most important. We did that, and so I'm fine with that. But again, it was far away from being a perfect game, but it was a typical Liverpool game. So very exciting, and yeah, it's over after the final whistle. So what can I say? I'm really not. I thought after the game maybe I'm angry, but then I realized I'm not angry. So why should I show up as I am angry? So I respect the performance of the opponent, and saw a lot of good things from us. We can do better. We will do better. That's it. Have a nice trip
Thank
home.
you very much.
Bye.
See you December.